really like how their community kind of took it upon themselves to make their own leagues, their own organizations from the ground up and make this thing for themselves because they know how important it is for them as a mass, them as a whole. And I think that was just such a beautiful concept to hear and see. Because like I don't know, like seeing it live, seeing it in action within like the past like couple of years and knowing that this is something that in the grand scheme of things is relatively new, I think it's pretty awesome that they're able to do this. I think giving themselves the space to build this community into something bigger and something even beyond themselves in a way that is built not just for the influence of, like feeling like you're all like macho and playing basketball and whatnot, but also just realizing that building a community is good for everybody. It helps give people who are a little lost somewhere to be found. It gives people, if say they don't have like a decent family life, it will give them somewhere to find family, their chosen family. And I think that was so beautiful. I really like towards the end where, they were talking about how something like this really empowers the kids and how if you empower the next generation and if these kids are seeing someone who looks like them doing what they want to do, they can have that idea of why not me. So the overarching theme of representation was so beautiful, and it also instills why it's so important. A lot of people still don't really understand why representation is important, but when you watch a piece like this, it makes it obvious why it's important.
I love that basketball is such a culturally significant sport for the Filipino community, and how much is it's a common ground for them to bond over. Um, you know, even if you don't know a person, you guys know basketball, and that you can bring that up and talk about that, and it'll bring you closer together. So I thought that was cool to just sort of see this sport as a common ground for everybody in the community. I loved the passion for the game that you see in this film. Everybody is so passionate for this sport and playing it and bringing it to people, um, and having that sport be such a community builder for them. I loved seeing the building of their league and how it grew from just an elementary school to nationwide. Um, and I loved that how in this film throughout you see basketball games. Throughout this film, it's the talking head testimonials, and while we hear them, we see basketball being played. Throughout this film, it's nonstop, and I thought that was filmed so great. We really see the passion of the game just simply through how this documentary was filmed. There's not uh, a minute that goes by that you don't see basketball in this film, which I thought was really cool.
The love for basketball was constantly repeated in this. Is the love for basketball is so deep within the Filipino culture, and there's such a sense of pride throughout this culture. Um, and every single figure in this documentary shares that same pride for their community, for their identity, but also shares that same pride and love for basketball. um, and that was really great to see.
The chapters for each city and all the footage is. I also loved that kid anecdote with the basketball player Curry. Just learning about the Filipinos and their love for basketball. It is exciting and so inspiring as well. Actually, anything that keeps the youth away from destructive habits is commendable and must be showcased as they mentioned through the film. I also enjoyed the testimonials, watching footage from these very talented players of all ages. And then when they talk about the Raptors championship celebrations in Toronto, I was there too, and it was just epic. The film is engaging all the way, very emotional and inspiring.
This was a very well done documentary. I really personally enjoy the fact that the documentary is based on basketball. Because it's a sport. I'm a really great fan of basket. And I really enjoy the fact that everything is focused on the Filipinos, the Philippines communities around the world, but also the Philippines and how important basketball in the country is. How all these champions, how all these people working, not just the players, but also the trainers and the supporters and all the people around basketball, part of the Filipino community, part the Filipino people from Philippines and also in the Philippines, they really live for this sport. I think it was very well done with a great usage of B-rolls and interviews, good cinematography. It really keeps everything exciting from start to finish.
Offers unique perspectives on the importance of sports within a community. I really like how it does that by interviewing different people, showing images of the game, and really diving into the cultural importance of basketball. And I think it's a really neat documentary and a unique perspective.